How's it going, everyone? I'm SirJames, coming at you guys with yet another lightsaber, or more specifically, DarkSaber review. I know you guys have been patiently waiting, and I do thank you guys very much for your patience. This one was sent my way courtesy of NSabers, so thank you very much. Which makes this one I believe the fourth DarkSaber that I've reviewed, right? The very first one that I did was an old one from the pack store. It was much different looking at the time. And then there's the one from Disney's Galaxy's Edge, so the Legacy Saber. Then we also have the one from Hasbro, and now we have this custom DarkSaber, so the very first official custom one that I've done, which is Profi installed, NeoPixel, so all the works that you guys could ever want as far as custom sabers go, and see whether or not this is worth it. So first things first is, before we show the hilt, I want to show at least the packaging that everything comes in, because you know, sometimes packaging is pretty simple and sometimes you get some cool stuff. The last couple of hilts that I reviewed came in those nice big black boxes with combination locks. This one came in its very own Beskar case. Okay, so it's not real Beskar, but you get the idea. So pretty nice case overall. In fact, I like the slimmer tone case over the bulky black ones. It just looks nicer in my opinion. And you know, like I said, I kind of call this the Beskar case because of the colorization of it. Inside is, well, gonna contain all the goodies that you're going to need to find. Of course, you're going to have the hilt, which I was just holding a moment ago. You're also going to have this little plaque here that says NSabers on it. Some people might like it, some people may not. I would have much preferred if it came with two plaques. For one, for NSabers, because you know, maybe in your collection you have it organized where each hilt came from, and you can kind of put that one next to it so you know, oh, I got this hilt from so and so company. You know, kind of makes sense. And then maybe another one where it's got the name of, you know, the item. So in this case, a plaque that says DarkSaber on it, I think would have been pretty cool. But it doesn't, so I mean, you could get those somewhere else if you needed to. You got your USB charging cable, you got your blade retention screws and the tools that you need to get it all working. You do need to install the little mini blade retention screws into the hilt first before you attach your blade, just so you guys are aware. Even though it's not really needed for this particular product, but then again, maybe some of you are getting it to specifically put it straight into a display case. And if that's so, you do get a pair of white gloves, so you don't have to worry about any fingerprints. Though it's not really a glossy finish hilt, so I don't think fingerprints are going to be an issue, but if you want to avoid putting oils from your hand onto the hilt, you do get some nice white gloves to kind of help you out with that. And you also get a stand, which you can go ahead and assemble. You also get an instruction booklet, which I have off to the side. And you do get your NeoPixel blade. So it's got the, kind of give you a close-up here. You do have your NeoPixel connectors. And then, of course, the LEDs that run across it. So let's go ahead and put that off to the side, because we will need that here in just a few minutes. So yeah, pretty nice case overall. Everything arrived perfectly safe. The blade and hilts and everything else was already wrapped up for its safe travels to you. So A+ for the packaging. And then here is the hilt. So let me give you guys a closer look here. So here is the top section with the emitter, which you do have the see-through windows, as you can see in my hand, waving across on the other side. There is no blade plug, so I will note that. As far as buttons, this is a 2-button setup. So the first button is going to be this little circle piece here, and the second one, you may tell it's already kind of hidden, is in this section right here. Now the buttons actually feel very nice. They have that nice tactile feedback. So if you kind of like tactile feedback for buttons, then you'll be pretty much happy with that. You also have your D-ring here, which is already pre-installed onto the hilts. And the hilt in general actually feels very good in the hands. It's got that nice cool metal feel to it, so it's got that aluminum or whatever the materials are made of, so like when it's really cold out and you pick this up, you get that icy cold chill from the hilt. and it's very comfortable altogether. I'm definitely pleased with it as far as how the weight goes. The quality of it actually feels very nice in the hands. It doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. It feels like you're getting your money's worth out of it. Now, the other thing I want to also point out is in terms of, well, how do you access the internals, the chassis, if you need to recharge it and whatnot. This one took me a little bit of time to figure out, because not every DarkSaber is going to be installed the same exact way. There was videos that I've seen on DarkSabers where if you remove the bottom piece, the entire chassis comes out with it. And this one, the way it works is that if you end up getting the saber, you do need to remove this screw right here. There's two pieces. There's the screw, and there's also the little black piece that's right here around it. Once you remove that, you can safely remove this bottom portion altogether. Now you're going to find that your hilt doesn't exactly come out. I mean, not your hilt, but your chassis. So what you'll have to end up doing, because the chassis is a little bit of a small form factor and it's plugged in towards the top here, you may have to kind of tap it, once or twice to kind of loosen it, and then it will be like disconnected and easy to access. And that's pretty much about it. I will also note that when you are going to plug in the actual board into your PC, you might want to be a little bit cautioned, because as you can see from the little clip here, is that there's a little bit of a red wire that kind of spans across a little bit, and it's not the easiest to connect anything to it. The easiest method I found was this one connector where you got that I don't know exactly what they're called, but it's the little circle end piece, and it kind of connects through a magnetic field to it. And that's the probably only way I was able to connect the board safely without potentially damaging that wire. So use a little bit of caution if you're going to end up plugging anything into it and customizing your Profi if you so want to. Now, the good news too is that if you don't know how to customize Profi, this by default comes with quite a bit of good stuff, to the point where you may not end up needing to install anything, because first off, you do have the all-important DarkSaber saber fonts that's on here, along with several other good things too if you want to mix up the flavor a little bit. So let's go ahead and actually put in the blade and showcase some of that right here. Now, fortunately, I can't do any outside shots today because of the unfortunate weather we're having, as in it's raining, and I prefer not to get this water damaged. But, it kind of is what it is. But we should have a perfectly good time here as well, because there's a lot of cool things all together. But as far as the the removable chassis, if you want to replace the battery, you can, or you can recharge the battery using the USB-C cable that is provided inside of the packaging. Pretty simple and easy to use. But yeah, like I said, you don't have to mess with the Profi settings if you don't want. So let's go ahead and turn this light off, and I think we should be good there. If I need to, I'll possibly turn off one of the other lights. So first off, you do have the all-important DarkSaber fonts. Now, if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you guys know there's certain things I like when it comes to Profi. One is gesture controls. And since I'm showcasing everything just out of the box, since I did no customization at all, it does have gesture controls enabled out of the packaging, which is awesome. And a handful of other cool things. So let's go ahead and kind of start. I'm first going to activate with the button because it's currently in sleep mode. So you do have that.
You are fighting against the blade.
In fact, I forgot to show the important thing for the blade. So on the blade itself, you do have the crack effects here on the one side. And here's how the blade looks. It's funny because some people will probably be like, well, the blade is backwards. This is exactly how the DarkSaber looks. If you don't believe me, look up images of the DarkSaber from the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian. So again, all the cracks run all the way down to the very end here. And it's the same on both sides. But like I said, it does have gesture controls, so using twist on and then twist off.
I'd put that on ice if I were you.
So yeah, like I said, you already have a DarkSaber font pre-installed, as you would expect. Now, one thing I want to kind of point out, and it's probably going to show up on the video. If you look here, you'll notice that the very tip of it doesn't seem to kind of like the LED stop here. And I mean, you do have the excess lighting in here, help illuminating that, but it might be something that may throw some people off. And it's a little bit more noticeable in person compared to how the camera's picking you up. I mean, you can kind of notice a little bit of a weirdness on the tip here. That's pretty much it. Now, the other thing that I also want to point out, and this is the one negative that I have, and it might be easy to fix, I just don't know the solution just yet, is that...
I'd put that on ice if I were you.
No, not yet. Is as far as the LEDs go inside the blade, on this side where you have the crackling effect, you know, the illumination is fine. No issues there. The one issue that I have is specifically on this side of it. Because one, the two LED strips are easily noticeable when this is lit up. And two, the way the LED strips are set in here is that it's ultra bright on this one end. Like I said, the crackling side is perfectly fine as far as how it's all placed, but on on this side here, it's very blindingly. Let me see if I could try to showcase that. So you see how super bright that is there, and even on my face. Don't hold this against your eyes, by the way. Versus this side. You see how very minimum that is as far as the reflection on my face goes? The diffusion on this side is fine, but on this other side, it's like holding a flashlight to your eyes. So that's the one negative that I have.
I'd put that on ice if I were you.
Now let me go ahead and cycle through the fonts really quick. Actually, you know what? We'll cycle through the fonts and I'll showcase some of them as I go on.
Cal Kestis.
So you have one for Cal Kestis. So this one is lit up in a blue color. Next up,
Anakin
in a darker blue. And it's got a little bit of a flicker effect on the blade itself.
General Kenobi.
Well, you know who that one is. Another blue one, but you can also change the color. I believe if you press the bottom then top. Nope, that's not it. Top then bottom. Oh, there you go. It's bottom then top. You should be able to... Oh, maybe this one doesn't have the color changing. Let's see. Oh, there you go. I did it right the first time. So you do have your color changing options. If you press the bottom, then the top, you'll be able to cycle through the colors that you want. And once you find a color that you want, you just press that bottom button. Or the top. Okay, the top, there you go. And then it will stay on that color. As you can see, we have this nice golden yellow here. Very cool.
Kenobi.
Sorry, you just... Every time that one comes on, you just have to do it. Oh, there you go. That one went all crazy right there.
I can see him in my mind's eye.
Now, sometimes if the blade, does that flickering, it could be just due to the sheer volume. And an easy fix to do that is to change the threshold of the clashing. Sometimes if you put it in a higher tone, it may require a lot more force in order for those activations to go. So kind of one thing to note if you do customize your Profi and settings on this one, because you do have a pretty good speaker. It's nice and loud and crisp.
You better get on with your exercises.
So like an Obi-Wan here.
Tell me, is this training?
My training? No. Always training. The universe is.
And as far as how does it feel in the hands, when the blade is actually in it, you know how in the show, Din Djarin and a few other characters mentioned how heavy it is to wield? And then there's comments like, you know, you're fighting against the blade, you need to be fighting one or with the blade. You know, it seems true here because, you know, you get that heavy feeling once the blade is inserted, like you're struggling to wield the DarkSaber, but
You did your best.
But after a bit of time, you start getting used and adjusted to it. So I did like that kind of feeling as well. Palpatine here. I have no idea. Some of these I don't even know. And some of the fonts on here too actually have these really cool, crazy ones with different effects going on with the blade that I really liked. And some of you may not like these particular effects, which is perfectly fine. I like it because, again, one of the things I like about Profi is the weird customizations and effects that you can do with the blades. So I don't remember if this one was an effect or not. Let's find out. Nope, that one was a simple one. Kind of creepy tone to it. So there's kind of an example of kind of a... We'll do that one again. Next.
When only a few of us are left, we will feel an irresistible pull towards a faraway land to fight for the prize.
Now, that one I have no idea where it's from, so if you guys know what it is, let me know. Again, really subtle, nice effect. Now, we know what this one is, but this one's a really cool one. Now this is pod racing. Ooh, hit the ceiling. Got the engine sound, the effect, everything about this font is just awesome. I always geek out on it. Little evil laugh there. Next up. Oh, this one's a cool one. You guys are gonna like this one. Sorry, I'm just watching it because I got the dogs right here. The two girls. Here we go. Oh yeah. Fun effect. Next up. And then we have this one. Oh yeah. But see what I mean about the side being super bright, while the other side is a lot more subtle. I'm pretty sure there's something you can probably add on here to help reduce that. Some kind of like maybe frost it a little bit. This one, not sure. Oh. So this one is a Jurassic Park one. And then there's Sabers. This one is one of the starfighters. Oh, not starfighter, speeder bike. Next up.
You seem a little unhinged.
Strange, but now I'm free.
Voltron.
Team C.
And then this is kind of like some of the basic default ones that you would have typically when you do a Profi install.
Smooth, smooth, smooth.
Luke Skywalker.
And then you're back to your normal one. So you got Luke Skywalker in there. And then... not sure what that one is.
I am told it is the DarkSaber.
And then back to the Mandalorian font with the DarkSaber. Now, as far as the fonts on here goes, again, this is all default packaged, and like a lot of those with the different effects that some people may not like, I love, I kind of geek out about, is that there's also a good handful of music tracks. If you ever need to activate the music tracks, when the saber is off, you just hold down this button for a couple seconds and let go. The music will play, and then to turn the music off, you hold down the button again and let go, and the music will stop. I would showcase it, but unfortunately YouTube and music and copyright stuff, it's just really pain and annoying to deal with. But yeah, overall, I think this one's really cool. It was my first Profi installed DarkSaber. I like all the default stuff that comes in the packaging. Like I said, my only negative, which I'm assuming could be an easy fix, I just have to kind of look into it, is that I want to do something on this edge of the blade to reduce the blinding light that comes on the side. And the reason why I point that out is because, let's say if you take this with you to the Disney parks or a convention, that blinding light that's coming specifically on this end is going to distract and bother other people, and the main thing that you want to do is to not cause any form of issues and to bother others. But that's pretty much about it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's an easy solution. Just have to find it, some kind of diffusion to add on here, and it should be as simple as that, I would assume. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I love it. Like I said, I was geeking out over the Saber fonts on here. If there's one thing that I personally am going to do, since I'm a little bit more familiar with Profi, is that I'm going to go in and, you know, adjust the setting a little bit for the threshold, so that way when the loud volume is going on, there's no unnecessary clashing and stuff like that. And that's probably going to vary between hilts. Mine's doing it a little bit more than others, probably because the volume is a little bit higher than expected. But that's pretty much about it, to be quite honest. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. And before you guys go, I just kind of had a quick little question. Actually, you know what? I was going to ask this, but I don't want potential spoilers for other people. So I guess here's my question, since we're reviewing something from The Mandalorian. What was your favorite moment in The Mandalorian Season 2? Do you have a favorite episode, a favorite moment? Was there a specific highlight during Season 2 of The Mandalorian that was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, remember, as a Mandalorian, weapons are part of my religion. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video upload. Thank you, take care, and may the Force be with you.